Okay, good morning. We're going to begin now a brand new Sichos, part of the project of Likkutei Sichos, printed in Chelek Chof Daled, page 253. Aleph. Bei der jedem Chilik zwischen der Bechia von Yidin auf Moshe Rabbeinu and der Bechia of Aaron HaKohen Asher Yisrael Kusar, in regards to the difference between the crying Yidin that cried after Moshe Rabbeinu passed away, and how the Torah relates when Aaron HaKohen passed away. So the Torah says, by Aaron it says, in Parshas Chukas, by Yifku Gamer, Kol Beis Yisrael, that all the Yidden cried when Aaron passed away. When by Moshe state, and Moshe in our Parsha, it says, in Parshas Vsos Habracha, by Yifku B'nei Yisrael, that the Yidden cried. So it doesn't use the lashon of Kol Beis Yisrael. So Zayin Faran, Tzvei Pirushim. So there's two general explanations of the difference of why the Torah uses the expression Kol Beis Yisrael, and by Moshe just says B'nei Yisrael. Aleph. B'shas Aaron is the stalag devarin, is mipnei B'chias Moshe of Aaron, b'achol kulam l'chvei b'yirasi. So the first explanation is that when Aaron passed away, Moshe Rabbeinu cried when Aaron passed away, and all the Yidden, because they respected Moshe Rabbeinu so much and they feared Moshe Rabbeinu so much, so they cried as well. However, when Moshe Rabbeinu passed away, there was no one as great as Moshe Rabbeinu to cry for him, so to speak. So therefore, the only ones who cried were really the men. That's one explanation. Since when Aaron passed away, you had a Moshe Rabbeinu, and Moshe Rabbeinu cried, so everyone cried because of the honor and fear they had of Moshe. When Moshe passed away, there was no one, you didn't have that presence to cast that COVID in Yira. That's one explanation. Now, another explanation is based by Moshe, haben bloß die Schorim gewinkt. By Moshe, only the males cried. Why? Mashayken by Aaron, Shahaya Reidef Shalom and Esa Shalom, when Isha Eub and Isha Le Baila. Now, by Moshe, by Aaron, he was a Reidef Shalom, he pursued peace and he brought peace between couples. So Nemar Kol Beis Yisrael Schorim Unikavas. That's why it says, side the males and the females. And this is what Rashi actually brings down in Chumash. He uses the lashon of Shayadei Shalom and Esa Shalom between couples. That's what it says. Never Kol Beis Yisrael. I put the link on the chat, on the Kedusha chat. Okay. Now, what's the difference between the two? Loit and Ershton Pirish Kumta, according to the first explanation, it comes out as the Adgosha von Vayifku B'nei Yisrael, Blaze Anosh, and Nit Kol Beis Yisrael, Viva Aaron. Bring down is Ma'alosam Yichadash Shomesha. As the Nia Godel Kamesa was Zayin Bechia Zolgerm Zayin, so Vayifku Gamer Kol Beis Yisrael. According to the first explanation that the Rebbe brings, so what comes out is that it brings out Moshe's Maila, that since there was no one as great as Moshe Rabbeinu, Kiviyachol, when he passed away, so therefore that's why Vayifku Kol, that's why it was only Vayifku B'nei Yisrael. So it brings out Moshe's Maila. However, according to the second explanation, is Adram on the contrary. Is El Bahad Gosha, Vayifku B'nei Yisrael. You want to, the, it's Al Kedusha, let me see 1 second. I'll send it to you as soon as Zoom. Here, I got it. You got it? Okay. So according to the first explanation, brings out his Maila, brings out how Moshe Rabbeinu was so miyucha that he was able to cause Kol Beis Yisrael to cry. However, according to the second explanation, is Adram on the contrary. The Zelbad Gasha, Ayifku B'nei Yisrael's Moshe Ha'anosh V'lo Ha'anoshim. Break the race as Moshe is their Inyan from Havoy Shalom. Need given B'tachas Hashem Shvi by Aaron. However, according to the second explanation, it comes out that Moshe Rabbeinu did not have the Maila of Aaron, that he was able to bring peace between couples. So it brings out Kiviyachol that his Chesar to Moshe Rabbeinu. So the Rebbe asks system well. It's a big question. So it's moving. As dort wo es letztlich wegen Misas Moshe is massam zu der Zell seine Meiles. When the Torah is telling over how when Moshe Rabbeinu passed away, obviously the Torah is telling over the Meiles of Moshe Rabbeinu. Und wie mir gefindt, zet, und wie min Tage zet, und wie min zet Tage don, Psukim, like you see in the Psukim itself. Gufa, und Moshe Rabbeinu, like Kosa in it, Moshe Rabbeinu's eyes weren't dim, like Kom Navi, It says that there was no Navi like Moshe Rabbeinu on all the signs of the other Chazakah. So the Torah in our Parsha is telling over the greatness of Moshe Rabbeinu. If he passed the Adgasha as Moshe is given the Shleimus HaMelech for Avos Shalom Be'ar. So it comes out, according to the second explanation, it comes out that he's saying that the Shalom Bayis part wasn't B'Shleimus like Aaron. Why would the Torah, how could the Torah tell us something that Moshe Rabbeinu wasn't B'Shleimus? Befrat by his passing, which in Parshas Vsos comes out that Moshe Rabbeinu it's telling over the greatness of Moshe Rabbeinu. Okay, base. This mir wird noch größer b'sim lev zum Seder Lashon Pirush Rashi. And you, the question is even stronger when you pay attention to the Lashon of Rashi. Rashi's up Bnei Yisrael. So Rashi says Bnei Yisrael has schorim. Who's Bnei Yisrael? Is the males. The men. Al ba'arin, ba'arin, tishrei reidu shalom and eisen shalom, ben ish l'deo, ben ish l'baylo. So Nemar kol beis Yisrael schorim u'nekevus. Well, the what's the Rebbe's question? If Rashi is blaze eisen sofern for us by Moshe steht kol beis Yisrael. By Moshe b'nei Yisrael. What's Rashi bothering Rashi? Why by Aaron does it say kol beis Yisrael and Moshe it says b'nei Yisrael? Rashi so Rashi should have started off and said b'nei Yisrael has schorim. But Aaron Nemer called basically Saul Skarim and the Kavus. And they're not saying their time the fish are Shalom. What's bothering Rashi is why does it say over here Bnei Yisrael and over there it says called Beis Yisrael? So Rashi should first start off properly say Bnei Yisrael who is the Skarim, and by Aaron it says called Beis Yisrael, which is the Skarim and the Kavus, and then tell us the fish are Shalom and Shalom. But what does Rashi say? How does Rashi do it? He says it in Sheirei Shalom, and Shalom, and Ishla Deyom, and Ishla Baila, never call Beis Yisrael. It's not the signal of Rashi should have been first. Why does it say Beis Yisrael over there? It says call Beis Yisrael. So Rashi first should have typed up and said, first say Scharim, then just tell us that the question of why it says Beis Yisrael call Beis Yisrael, and then tell us the answer. It's like telling us the answer before the question. Okay, so now, what is it ever trying to bring out from here? The numbers Rashi heeft dan met de ingang van Avos Shalom Shalaring und dann zu noch mit einer Arichus. So, befragt dass Rashi hat das schon gesagt früher bei Stalkus Moshe. So the fact that Rashi starts off this way, and Rashi already told us in Parshas Chukas why it says Kol Beis Yisrael bei Stalkus Ari. It's mashma as Rashi is oisen nicht nur zum Avar sein dem Tam ve'echech as by Yifku Bnei Yisrael from unser Pasuk meint Haskarim. Rashi is not only telling us why it says over here by Yifku Bnei Yisrael, which is the Skarim, and our to our is bringing the Mila from Aaron the Gabi Moshe. He wants to bring out the Mila that Aaron had over Moshe in regards to bringing Shalom Bais. So what's the question? As to more as though by Ingi Status Moshe is on Gor Aris bringing Umarach Zain in Hepech Malas Shavash Aaron. So the question is, but you still by bringing Aaron up, you're putting Moshe Rabbeinu down and saying that he's not the highest Mila. You can't say Masada using the word Mila from Moshe Rabbeinu Bechlal after about Vorder. As when I get damn in Avos Shalom, Avos Yisrael, Avos Shalom, dafür sich nicht begnügen mit Hanoga. He says, "Give my Moshe." Nor man darf sich lernen von Hanoga. You can't say that Mitzad Moshe Rabbeinu he's so great. So the Torah wants to tell us that when it comes to Shalom Bayis and Avos Shalom, be like Moshe, be like Aaron, not Moshe. Well, the Cheda is nicht da der Ort them. It's not the place to go and tell us this. It's a foreign movement, so therefore it's understood. As B'shas Malad of Inge from the Stalkus Moshe is der Beine geht to wissen dem Chiluk zwischen Moshe and Aaron. Koilu Malas Aaron Gabi Moshe. When we're learning about the Stalkus of Moshe Rabbeinu, the Torah wants to tell us the difference between Moshe and Aaron, also bringing out Aaron's Mila. When der Far is the pasuk Damad Ish, that's what the Torah stresses over here. Yifku b'nei Yisrael's Moshe. Rashi Mavar Megala as the mid will der pasuk undight and if Malas Sha'ar the Gabi Moshe. As by him is given Reidu Shalom b'nei Shalom Ish L'Deyo O Ben Ish L'Bayla. Now what does that mean? So the Rebbe says in Gimel, what does that mean? That the Torah wants to bring out the Mila of Aaron, but not putting down Moshe. How does that work? The Rebbe says in Gimel, wird das verstehen behektem Atam was bei Moshe yefid mit nicht bei meinem Chazal wegen seiner Hanogen Avos Shalom ben Ish L'Deyo ben Ish L'Bayla b'mi yefid bei Aaron. So understand this by first explaining, B'chlal, we don't find, the Chazal doesn't tell us how Moshe Rabbeinu B'chlal had this hanaga of being a marriage counselor, of bringing peace between couples. Now, this is Muban Upashit, as das is nicht der Fall, was bei Moshe hat Chas v'Shalom gefällt in Avos Yisrael. You can't say that Moshe Rabbeinu is lacking in Avos Yisrael. Rather, on the contrary, Moshe Rabbeinu Oiv Yisrael. I think Gemara says that Moshe Rabbeinu was Oiv Yisrael. As given the Rei Neman von alle und jeder Yidin was hot, Zeh, Bazort, mit Zer Tzrach, Moshe Rabbeinu took care of all the Yidin and all the necessities. Side Shachem, Haruchnim, and at Alein gelernt Teda mit Kolam. First of all, when it came to Ruchnias, so Moshe Rabbeinu learned Teda with everybody. Onid nor di Hilchas HaTeda, but Yidin Muzim Visin latest and Maisa Shriyasa Ve'elas Shalei Sasena. Not only telling the practical halachas, what you should do, what you shouldn't do, even when it came to the Pupulum of Teda, I was given to Moshe his children, he also is Noigba Hoivis Ayin. He had a generous eye with Nassan Yisrael, and he gave the Pupuli Deraisa to the Yidin. So that's when they came to Ruchnis, or cycle culture, Agashmim, and also the physical needs unheimdig from the Mon, was Moshe, on Bias as euch die andere Tzrachim, was seine Gewinn, beschus Aaron Miriam, is noch sehr ptida, wegen Nistalik, Habe'er, Nistalke, and Anaya Kovid, Chaz, beschus Moshe. And also when it came to the physical needs, starting with the Mon, beschus Moshe, on all the other necessities, which we know in the beginning were beschus Aaron or Miriam, when they passed away, came beschus Moshe. So, nor the Pshat davon. So, what's the explanation? As bezad in Yanish Luchus Shomesha hat sich bei ihm gefordert, der andere Öfen Anogen, Avos Yisrael, V'avos Shalom V'Havos Aaron. So, because whoever Moshe Rabbeinu, what he represented, his shlichus was a different shlichus than Aaron. Our shlichus was to bring Shalom Bayis between people, between couples. Moshe Rabbeinu, it's not his shlichus, so what the Eibishter wanted from him, it wasn't an of Havos Shalom. Now, what does that mean? So the Rebbe says now in Dalid, the Asbara Bazeh. What's the explanation? Then in their Oifen Avos Shalom and Aaron, when it came to the bringing peace that Aaron brought, their Tzeilin Chazal. So the Gemara tells over, as Kedei Lasis, or the Medrash tells over, as Kedei Lasis Shalom and Ish D'Eu, had the Mishana given for them emes. In order to bring peace between couples, he deviated from the truth. Was das is gemoven Adover Hamuter Verotza Pitera. The Gemara in Yevamah says that when it comes to bringing peace, you're allowed to deviate from the truth. You're allowed to change the truth a little bit in order to bring peace between the parties, between the couples. Right, I think that's what Masadek says, right? The Shatkin is Rashativ is Sheker Dever, Kesef Neitel. Now, so when it comes to bringing Shalom, you're allowed to deviate from the truth. Moshe Rabbeinu Ober, however, when it came to Moshe Rabbeinu, Mibal as Midasa is Midas Emes. Since Moshe Rabbeinu, his attribute was the Midah of truth, the Dibra by in Nidgi can sein der Öfen von Avos Shalom. So Moshe Rabbeinu was not able to, because of his personality or his Midah was Midas Emes, he wasn't able to, mitzad his personality, mitzad his Midah, to bring Avos Shalom, because to bring Avos Shalom, you have to many times deviate from the Emes. Now, when Afal Pi as the Iyafon Mutter Chulu the Shanish B'Davar Shalom is Canal Ahidof and Teda. The Terry tells us you're allowed to do that. Was Z is Tedas Emes. Vi Severt Aringeret Makamacha B'Diyat Losh Chazal Mutter the Shanis. This is Mizan Iyafon Shine. Now, you're allowed to change the truth. If they don't know the difference between changing the truth and Abernit Kin Sheker Kasser Shalom Hepar Tedas Emes. The difference between changing the truth and lying.
Teachers.
Well, teachers, I can't figure it out. But the mumchim, the mediators, they have this right? They have this tnu of, okay. It's over Azawi and Anago for the mitah made me this emes. Now, at the end of the day, this conduct is connected with the concealing of the truth. When the fires does not massen, look, when I would come to the couples and say, they really want to make shalom with you, they really wasn't deviating, because deep down, let's say externally they're in a fight, but deep down he would bring out that the Nakuda wasn't lying. It was just, he was covering over on the Midas Emes. When the fires does not master to the shlichus from them, was Midasim and the Regasim Yichadis Midas Emes. So that doesn't fit well with somebody like Moshe Rabbeinu, who was Midas of Emes. Dead Eifel Hanoga is Shayach to Aaron. So this conduct is only Shayach to Aaron, was Midas, is Midas HaChesed, which his Midas is Midas HaChesed. Now, the Rebbe says on page 256, when Moshe learned Torah mit Yidin, so when Moshe learns Torah with the Jews, Git Ze Iber Allen Yanim from Torah, gives over everything from Torah. Torah also tells us that when it comes to the Shalom Bayis, you're allowed to deviate from Bar Shalom. When it comes to sein eigene Anoga, when it comes to his own conduct, was es verbunden mit sein Madrege, und wenn Shlichus Baal Medein, when it comes to his own Madrege and his Shlichus in this world, is by him Shayef or Derefin. So it's not Shayef to have this level. Now, you can add even more. Shayat Arab Sulazin Zif Oif Tzazafel was in a matzav Yoret. And he can't even bring himself down to a lower madriga. Because as there ain't secure veg to Mata Shalom Minim, there's the Mashana Zayin Mina Emes. Because Moshe Rabbeinu was Midas Emes and his Shlichus was in this world was Emes, so he can't even bring himself down to a level which the only way to actually bring peace between these people is to be Mishana the Emes. So that's the difference between Moshe's Shlichus and Aaron's Shlichus. Moshe's personality was Emes. Emes tells me you have to be Emes the whole time. When it comes to Chesed, Shalom, so yeah, you can do, since Moshe Aaron's Midah was the Midah of Chesed, so he was able to, and it wasn't a lie, it was just Nitzat Teda. Teda tells us that you're allowed to be Mishana Emes or 4 Shalom Bites. Or Mishana Emes to bring the peace. Hey, now since both conducts, Aaron's conduct and Moshe Rabbeinu's conduct is al piteda, so it's understood that each one has Mashem Baza. The Ma'ila Fananogas Moshe was in them is Nitaki Shum Netia from the Emes. What's the Ma'ila Moshe Rabbeinu that he did not deviate from Emes? The Eidah Yisa is Dar Ma'ila in Hanogas Aaron. On the other hand, there's also a Ma'ila in Aaron. Was Dafke durch der Greichman zum bis zum Tachten Be'esra. Farvemen was Mashana Zayin. But Moshe, Aaron is able to reach levels to go to Tachten because of his personality that Moshe is unable to get. When the mitzvah Oich Musber, the town, was Dafke by P'tiras Moshe is Mugdash Malas Hasharon. So now we can understand that Dafke, when the Torah is telling us the passing of Moshe, stresses the Ma'ila of Aaron. B'meshech Yimei Chayiv Shel Moshe, when there is given Farnumi mit Durchführen sein Shlichus Ba'amedim, is a given Kol Kuli Osud in sein Aveda, Eifen Aveda. So, Moshe Rabbeinu's whole life, all what he was trying to do is be Mekayim his Shlichus, his Aveda. Well, sein Shlichus Ba'amedim is Sutan Alts Ba'if Midas Emes. So what's Moshe Rabbeinu's Shlichus is to just accomplish truth. Shas aber is gekommen, there's von Vayal Moshe Gamer El Har Navai. Now, so now when Moshe goes to Har Navai, he goes and he goes to Shemayim from there. So now Moshe Rabbeinu is completing his shlichus und hat gehalten bei Oda seiner Meile, so he's going higher. Demot is by him given this man to the Herren, the Meile in Anagas Aaron. So Dafke or Moshe Rabbeinu, when he finishes his shlichus, he'll tell you and he'll bring out the Meile of Aaron. Let's bring Shalom to Yedin Yidin, which brings Shalom to every Jew. Thereafter beer in the Maimar Yidua from the Rabbi Shloimy Greenwald Samachim Misos. It's like what the Gemara tells us. The brachas about Rabbi Shloimy Greenwald, that right before he died, what did he say? He says, I don't know if I'm going to Gan Eden or Gehenna. So as you do with the kasha, know the question. Wie kommt es? As Rabbi Shloimy Greenwald, was is given from the Gedele Aktanayim, and we Chazal Zayin became as maftig in the godless from Rabbi Shloimy Greenwald. Rabbi Shloimy Greenwald was a very great Tana, and the Torah and the many places tells us the greatness of Rabbi Shloimy Greenwald. On doch gewiss given Nizar Betachas Shemina Vashat. He was the ultimate Yid. So by him saying a suffix, or gate in Gan Eden other than Gehenna, there's going to be a suffix if he's going to Gan Eden or Gehenna. Like, what does that mean? Any idea based there? So steht auf the Hasbara. So the explanation is, and the Alter Rebbe brings down Likkutei Sichos and different Mamorim in Chassidus, Chosh is given Zicher, as Benegia, seine Kriechas HaGeluyim, is an avodah given B'Parshas Vsos Habracha. Rabbi Shloimy Greenwald knew that beside his powers that he was given and that he was Mekayim his avodah B'Tachlis, is over given Meshupach Tzir hat ich aufgetan, was darf aufgetan Benegia sein Etzem an Neshama Nefesh Shalamala Migili. So he came, when it came to the Kriechas and Neshama, so that he knew he did with everything that he can with Parshas Vsos. But when it came to the Etzem HaNefesh, that he had a suffix b'chal if he was able to accomplish enough. That's what Chassidus says. Now, despite of it moving, Oib by him is given a suffix wegen der Matze von Etzem HaNefesh, sie es folgt sich in a Matze von Kedusha, der Chas v'shalom ha'epech. So if he was in doubt about his Etzem HaNeshama, was hat sich auf dem Stag given samol mizazeh. So why is he just thinking about this or taking pain right before he passes away? When it's free of a mesha for sein ganzes Leben, why didn't he worry about this or speak about this in the middle of his life? So it's from the Bilam is one of the explanations brought down is that the Meshach Kol Yemei Chayav is a Bichem Azaka given in ganze Vernommen reingetan in sein Shlichus B'Amadin. Rabbi Shloimy Greenwald, his whole life, he was involved in the Shlichus the entire time. First he learned for himself and taught others. Und hat nicht gehabt kein Zeit zu abstellen sich mit Fasten wegen seiner Madrigas. He didn't have time to think about where he's holding, what he accomplished, wo halt mit Etzem Nafshe, where he's holding with his Etzem Neshama. Dafke Samalem Liptirasai, wenn hat gehalten by verendigen sein Shlichus B'Amadin. Dafke right before he passes away. But he is concluding his Shlichus in this world, hat gekannt sich misboine sein, was es tut sich mit Etzem Nafshe. So now you can think what's going on with his Etzem Nefesh. Now, while there's a binyan, the same thing, Benegea, what we're speaking about over here. Dafke Samal Liptirasai, when Meisha hat schon verendigt Shlichus B'Amadin. Dafke Meisha been right before he passes away, when the Shlichus is finished, is done by him given this man zu eintrachten sich in die Chiluke Madrigas zwischen sein Avodah und Avodas Aaron. So now is the time for him to think the difference between his Madriga and Aaron's Madriga. Und hat demult the head Milas Aaron. So then he when right before he passes away, when his Shlichus is finished, he says that Aaron was the ultimate Mila. When the Dibber is Eich Azoi Fashibin in Terrestriation. That's why it's written. This is written in Torah of Moshe in the Torah. Dafke in the Psukim wegen Mrs. Moshe, or the risk gebracht die Meile von Avodas Aaron gab Avodas Moshe. Dafke when Moshe since Moshe, what's the explanation? Moshe Rabbeinu was Midas Emes. Midas Emes can't be Mishana to do what Aaron wants. But now the Moshe is saying my Shlichus is finished. You want to know what the ultimate Mile is? The ultimate Mile is not is Moshe Rabbeinu. The ultimate Mila is Aaron, because Aaron was the one who brought Shalom between people. Okay, so tomorrow we'll